don't know about y'all, but I'm ready for some medicine. Oh, Lord, I need it. Today's prescription comes from Proverbs chapter 13, verse 7. It says, there is one who makes himself rich, yet has nothing, and the one who makes himself poor, yet has great riches. Some translations say pretend to make himself, pretend to be rich, yet has nothing. Pretend to be poor, yet has great riches. I was thinking this morning, just meditating on some of the language that the Bible uses. It's interesting to me on the language or the words that God chooses to use pertaining to the scriptures. And one in particular is the word image. The Bible says we were made in his image. And I always wonder, I'm like, why did God tell us that we were made in his image? Why did he remind us or let us know that we were made in his image? And I come to the place to understand the reason why God tells us this is because somewhere in there, we have lost sight of his image. And part of the rebirth process is coming back to understand what it means that we were made in his image. How in the world did we lose sight of that? How in the world did we lose the connection to the image we were made in? And I'm going to tell you for this morning medicine, one of the reasons I believe that we've lost connection or lost sight of it is because in this life, we have learned to put on all different types of images. We have learned to put on masks and hide behind an image. As a matter of fact, we have put on all types of images as if they are our image, if that is me. But the reality of it is, it's far from who I'm supposed to be. I'm going to say it like this. It's far from who God made us to be. And it seems we're trying to put on to get back to an image that we really don't know what it truly looks like. And I want us to really think about that today as we approach today. Because in this life, what image have we continued to put on? Who have we made ourselves out to be that's far from who God has called us to be? What image do you put on? I'm going to make this thing personal. What image do you put on when you get around your friends, your coworkers, or certain type of people? Do you see your image changing? What type of image do you put on when it's outside of the church doors, when it's inside of your home, whether it be in your marriage? What type of image do you put on in order to handle that situation? What type of image do you put on or make yourself out to be trying to achieve that promotion or locate success? What type of image do you put on in order to show everybody that you're a good parent, that you're a good fill in the blank? What type of image have we made ourselves out to be in order to get someone to laugh or to be on someone's good side or to live up to some type of reputation? So I make myself out to be something that I'm truly not. I put on the character of something that I'm far from. What have we made ourselves out to be? What image am I portraying that's far from me? I keep disguising myself because I've made myself out to be who I need to be in that situation. What image am I portraying? And I ask this question because as we approach today, we're going to be addressed with all types of things. But it's not so much about the things we're addressed with, it's the image. Have I put on this image that disguises when I'm going through hard times? I don't want anybody to see. So I've learned to put on an image and smile when I'm really hurting, an image to hide in order that no one could see the truth, an image to portray what whole appears to look like, yet I'm far from it. What have I made myself out to be that I'm truly not? What images have I began to masquerade in? What images have I throughout my life have learned to equip myself with so that nobody else could see? And what's amazing is that we've been made in God's image. And God's image has everything to do with integrity because it's showcasing a reality of an image in honor of the creator. It's who God made me to be. And it's not filled with dishonesty. It's not disguised. It's not masked. Yet, what has life, going through this life, what image has it had me put on? I'm just asking this question because the Bible says they make themselves rich, yet has nothing. Why do we have to make ourselves that in order to feel like this or in order to hide that? Why? Well, I got to make myself out to be this way so people can feel sorry for me. Why is that image now become a part of me that I feel I have to put on that in order to get that and hide from this? Why I got to put an image and dress up the way I dress up so that I could get the attention because I'm trying to hide the low self-esteem that I really feel ugly on the inside? What have we made ourselves out to be? That's truly not the image that he has made us to be. And I'm thinking about Jacob. Jacob, and the Lord said, today you will be called Israel. Why did God do that? Because the image of Jacob. Jacob means trickster, deceiver. Jacob was accustomed to putting on this image to make it look like something, but it's far from it. And it caused all types of issues within his life. It caused all types of things because Jacob was making himself out to be. And in that, he spent time in places longer than he should have spent time in because he was making himself out to be something that he truly was not. And until he confronted this reality, it kept him in a place because that image was a bondage. And I just want us to really think about that this morning, because the image that we make ourselves out to be, we won't even see it as a bondage. It's slavery. I'm confined to an image that's truly not me. Bondage. Why do I have to pretend to be this in order for people to like me like that? Bondage. I'm a slave to the feelings of people. I'm a slave to what I consider to be peace. I'm a slave to that reputation. That's why I got to put on this image so everybody can think that I'm keeping up with the Joneses, yet I'm not even on that level. Somehow in there, I'm a slave to a mentality that makes me think that people will only accept me if I look like this, act like this, or become like that. Everybody now, when I hear the young people, everybody now want to wish they were from the hood. This image of hood, and people put on, and they're not even from that area. They didn't even grow up in the way they grew up, but because this image makes it seem like they're hard, or make this image seem like they in itself came up from nothing. They put on that jacket, they put on that identity. And I'm just saying, I'm asking today, as we approach today, what image will we continue to put on? What image will I make myself out to be? What image do we find ourselves hiding behind? Why am I a Christian at church, yet when it comes to my work or where it comes around certain people, that's not the image? That's not the image. That's not the image that God said I was made in, which is supposed to be a reflection of Christ. Why is that not the image that God is able to see when that's what he's bringing me back to? That I don't have to be a transformer because I've already been transformed. I'm saying for our morning medicine, as we approach this week, as we start our week today, what image? What image? Who have I made myself out to be? That's really not me in him. What image do I continue to put on, letting everybody see something that's not a reality? Bondage. What have I made myself out to be that's really not me? That's really not a portraying of what's going on within me or what's happening inside of me. But I've made myself out this image to act as if everything is cool when it's heating up in the inside of me. I want everybody to think this, because somewhere in there I become a in bondage to that mentality because I think it fulfills something for me, but it's far from it. I made myself out to be. Look at the way I dress, this image that I've created, and said only people would accept me or like me, or I can get attention through this image. And so that's the image I try to portray. I make myself out to be because this image that I'm trying to live up to. But is that the image in him? This is our morning medicine. What image do I make myself out to be? What clothes am I putting on that no longer fits me? Yes, I'm tired of being a transformer. Let me be the one that's in the image of the transformer. This is your morning medicine. Who are you making yourself?